Hi there guys, Neil at Italia Autos here. Welcome back to another video on my channel, and today we're going to be giving you a garage update because a lot has happened over the last few months that some of you may have worked out in a few of the shorts videos and stuff like that. So let's start by showing you the new ramp area. It's all been installed. It's a 4-ton ramp, so it's a little bit wider, which means when I have the bigger cars on, I can open the doors that little bit more, meaning I can get a little bit more access. On the ramp now is the GTV, the 12-year barn find I did. That's come back in. It's due its cam belt again now. We're going to service it and do a few other bits and bobs, but let's just show you how it's actually holding up. See, all the underside is still all looking pretty good. It's been rust treated every year, so all the underside is pretty good. It just needs, every year it comes back in and it just needs a few little touch-ups and stuff like that where it keeps coming back through. But yeah, this is in for cam belt service, aircon compressor, more rust treatment this year, and MOT and a few other bits and bobs. So that'll be back on the road very shortly. And one other thing I've been doing, as you'll see behind me, we have put some more lights up. So now when I do hopefully film over there on a lot of videos I do, you will see everything is a lot brighter. Not so much in the bright sort of spring sunshine, but when it comes to filming, that will be loads better when it's in the winter. I might even try it when I do a video on whatever car I put on there next. And there's a massive change upstairs. I've got to say a huge thanks to my dad. He's got to be pushing 80 soon, and he's been coming in every day, not every day, but 2 days a week, and he has done loads of work up here. The big pile of rubbish that was there is now gone. He's built a nice little stud wall section here, so I can have a sort of a big L-shaped workbench there. So then when I'm rebuilding engines, like this one over here, which has all got to be cleaned up with my parts washer, sandblaster, tie machine and everything over there. So when I'm rebuilding an engine, I can have everything sort of in one area. So when I'm rebuilding an engine, I can have everything in one area. Even if it comes down to just rebuilding small parts, I can bring them up here, I can clean them, and I can have a nice clean work area to do it in, rather than the messy area down there when I have the delicate things and the things that need to be clean when I put them together, like engines, can be done up here. So it's going to be a lot better workspace for me. And I've also bought an old leather sofa from home. So on my break time, I can come up here and have a cup of tea and sit in comfort for a change. And while we're staring at it, the Discovery is still doing amazing, 0 faults. And we've now done nearly 8,000 miles. So I have certainly racked up some miles this year. It's only another 2 months. I think I had it in June, so another 2 months. And it will celebrate its first year's birthday. But yeah, I had to go down to London and pick up a car a couple of weeks ago. And it was just a breeze driving down, easily getting 32 mpg while towing, and just a massive amount of comfort. And I can also get through all the congestion charge zones for free, so it's bonus. So next car, we have got this Abarth in, which is I think another garage has been working on it, but they can't find out what's wrong with it. But the problem is, when it's cold, it's not doing it now. There you go, you can hear it now. It develops a misfire. You hear that? And it only does it when it's cold, apparently. So he's put the whole parts, let's turn it off. So he's put the old parts bin into this. He's done injectors, he's done spark plugs, he's done everything. So I've got my little suspicion of what it could be. But if any of you guys have seen it before, let me know. Misfire, I think it was cylinder number 1, intermittent, and when it warms up it goes away. I've got an idea what it is, but I'm going to strip it all apart next week and see if I can get to the bottom of it. Going to check the timing first. If the timing's spot on, I need to remove the rocker cover and see what's going on underneath there. Next car is my Punto GT. The massive update on that in the works. I've so far filmed and edited about 11 minutes of footage, but I actually want to get it completely finished So there's literally just one more episode to go on the Punto GT, and fingers crossed we can get it to the body shop, get the last few bits sorted out. But yes, it's all up and running. There's still loads of little niggle issues I've got to sort out with it, but it does run and it does drive. Let's give you a little sound off with it. There we go, all up and running, sounding pretty good. It was a little bit lumpy, but then I realised I'd put the airflow meter in the wrong way around. So that seems to have sorted that out now. But I did just notice I've had to do a repair to the fuel rail, and it's leaking from there again. As you can see, the stuff I put on it has melted, and yeah, I've literally just noticed this. So there you go, it's another little thing for me to sort out. I'm going to need another fuel rail, and you can't seem to get them anywhere. And the spare on the yellow one outside has completely broken, so now I'm begging and pleading for a good fuel rail for this Punto. Okay, yeah, but it runs and drives, and I better not run it anymore because it'll set on fire because the exhaust manifold's behind there. Oh, great. So yeah, I've been doing loads of stuff on camera to this, so you should have a video in this. It's probably going to be a couple of months really until we get the last video on that. What else have we got in? The 105. Progress on this is extremely slow. I've had to drill out quite a few bits and bobs, and I've test fitted the steering box, but we are having fitment issues because the customer didn't want to buy a reconditioned box for it. He wants to piece it together with some used ones, and basically it's all got a bit Pete Tong. I've lost a little bit of motivation on it now, to be honest, but I have got some time planned the whole of April to spend some time on this. So I need to take the steering box out again, rebuild that again, and that was one of the worst jobs in the world I have ever done. It's full of about 50 little ball bearings, and you need to get these ball bearings in little holes in the right position, put the bearings on with the bearings in them, and try and twist everything together without them falling out. And I think I spent about 6 hours rebuilding and trying to put together this first steering rack. So when I got it in, I was like, yes, it's all great. When to turn the steering wheel, and the wheels turn the opposite way because the left-hand drive steering rod isn't compatible with the steering box. So basically all that work was for nothing, and yeah, I feel like I'm demotivated on working on that, but I will get back into that because I know the customers are going to watch this video, so I'll get back into it when I've got more time for it and I can actually sit back and think rather than jumping through several jobs at a time. And the next one is this Fiat Coupe. This has been in the workshop a few times over the last couple of years. You had a cam belt and stuff done on it last year, so you've probably seen it in the background of some videos. We have just put a reconditioned subframe on it and some rear arms. We just stuck waiting for some brake calipers, some rear shockers, and a few other bits and bobs, but the main bare bones of it is back on now. And while it was all off, we've also rust treated underneath where the subframe is as well, and we've put some Lanagard on the floor pan. And it's the same situation, it's not the same situation, but I plan on doing a lot of work on the 155 next month, which is this month by the time you get the video. I want to get that car finished on there. I've then got to get another new project for the channel on there, which is a quick sort of 1-2 episode project. I want to get that on there, quickly do that, and then the 155 is going to get moved onto that ramp because I imagine it's only going to be another few weeks and the engine's going to come back. So I've got to strip out the engine bay, do that bit of welding we saw on it. We've got to paint the engine bay, tart everything up, finish the rest of the bodywork, and hopefully we can get that back to the customer before we hit the full swing of summer. And when everything was being sorted out from the rooms upstairs, I managed to break the screen on my GTA, so I had to fork out 300 quid for a brand new windscreen. The Fiat Coupe, which was here for ages, is still here. It's been to the body shop for a few months. Everything was done on it, ready to go home, but we did have one type of bearing noise on it, so we took the alternator off. The alternator was definitely knackered, so we've changed that. We still had a bearing noise on it, so we changed a few of the tensioner bearings and a few other bits and bobs, all to do with the auxiliary belt, and it was still there. and at the end we've sort of took the power steering pump off, and it's not your typical power steering pump. The power steering whole pump sits within a bearing, and that bearing had gone, so we've had to fit a bearing. But I've gone to fit the bearing, and as I was trying to fit it in a really tight space, the bearing has fallen apart. So the customer has had to order another bearing, and hopefully I can be a little bit more patient with it next time and try and get the bearing in one go. The 147 letdown road trip car is back up and running again. I've replaced every single component on both sides of the rear suspension. You can put some new pads in the back, left the discs because the discs are fine. So I am speaking with Ed now about another road trip. We had decided on something, but unfortunately I forgot I'm going away that weekend anyway, so we can't do it then. So we need to try and plan another date. We've got something planned, so I want to do a few more bits and bobs to it, and then we can plan another road trip. Not saying where we're going, but there is one planned, but don't know when this year. It might even be in the autumn now, because we've got quite a bit planned over the next few weeks. So the next one is the V6 GT. This one is proving to be another nightmare one. All up and running, engine runs absolutely sweet. It was just intermittently, you get an engine warning light flicker on and off when you went above 3,000 RPM. So like, that's probably going to be the crank sensor. Change the crank sensor on the test drive. That fault had totally gone. And then all of a sudden the dashboard was flickering. You could hear relay for the heater flicking on and off, and the heater was like surging. And so I thought, right, I'm going to come back to the unit. Parked it up, nothing. You get a few lights on the dashboard, but the main dashboard screen didn't light up. And I was like, blooming heck, what's going on with this? So I had my suspicions it could have been the body control module. And I've sent that off to be checked out to a company, and they said, oh no, sorry, we can't do it after all. So I've got to get another body control module, the same part number, and hopefully get it cloned, and fingers crossed that will sort that car out and it can go to its new owner, because I have had that way too long, and that should have literally gone back to the owner last month, but it's all been a pain in the jack seat, so it's been stuck around. Got the Porsche out today because the sun's out, so I'll be going home this afternoon and getting the hood down on that. And I've had this in for a service, some front anti-roll bar links and some front brake pads. It's a 21 plate which has only done 13,000 miles, so that was a nice little joy to drive that. And I think the last one that I really need to do, there's a couple here to be honest. The last one is the 147 with a sill. That is going for an MOT retest. It did fail on the stupid little things that I left loose for the MOT, and it needed a couple of wishbones and some wiper blades, so that is going back for a retest today, and then it can go home on Saturday. Calibra, parked it outside, not done much more to it. Colour match isn't terrible, but I am going to have to blend it into the other half of the car. So I've kind of lost motivation again on this one, because this has been going on for nearly 12 months now, and I thought it was going to be a bit quicker, and it's just taking forever, and I haven't had time to finish it, so I'm going to get to this sometime. Another one is this 147 GTA. It's a low mileage one, I think it's only about 35,000 miles, but it's been a pain in the backside again. We've got it all running, took it for an MOT, did the MOT brilliantly, that passed. Then took it for another test drive because it was all road legal, and the brake master cylinder has decided to fail, and we can't get one for love nor money. And since it's been sitting here, it's now got a wiring fault, and the fuel injection fuse keeps blowing, so we've got to have a look at that. But I am waiting for the customer to source me a part, so that is unfortunately stuck here until we can get a brake master cylinder. It's the problem with Alfa and UK cars. They cater for all the left-hand drive cars, and when it comes to them getting older, there is nothing left for the little old right-hand drive cars with a small number of batch parts, and they are not making them anymore, and they haven't been available for a few years. So we're in this with that now, and hopefully we can get there with that eventually. The Barchetta has been relegated to outside. I want to sell it. If anybody wants it, let me know, because it just needs to go now. It'll pass its MOT with flying noisy machine. It'll pass its MOT with flying colours, and yeah, I just might as well have it gone now. I want the money now. I want the money for it. Oh, the final car, which I haven't spoke about, is the Porsche. Still no story on that. Still haven't had time to touch it. I've even been thinking at the minute, am I even going to get time to touch it? It's like, I worked out that the Punto has taken me 5 years this June to do the restoration on it, and the Porsche is going to take that equal amount of time probably, and quadruple the amount of money on getting it done. And I'm thinking, am I going to have time for it? Is it going to be worth me getting views again? Because the Punto started off really well on views, but because it's taken so many years to get it finished, the views have gone right the way down. So yeah, it's for me, but am I going to get time to do it? What do you guys think on that? So that is it. That is the garage update for the spring. Hopefully you have lots of projects going on yourself. Let me know in the comments if you've bought a new car or you've got some big projects going on. But thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.